All right. Well, we are here in Toninas, Sinaloa, Mexico. Beautiful little ecological resort. And could you tell us the story? How you guys first introduce yourselves to us, please, and
Yes.
tell us how did this beautiful place come to be?
Yes, so I am Camila. I'm originally from Colombia, from Bogota, and this is Enrique, my boyfriend.
Yes, I'm Enrique. I'm from Culiacan. I spent, I don't know, probably the last 14 years out of Sinaloa, and the last year and a half, Camila and I have been building this project together. So, Camila, she can tell us the story.
Yeah, so we are both foreign, well, former diplomats. I was in the Colombian Foreign Service, and Enrique, of course, was in the Mexican Foreign Service.
Now we understand the great decoration in the bungalow.
And I lived in Vietnam for 2 years, in Morocco for 2 years and a half, and Enrique.
I actually lived in Houston, Texas. I spent there a couple of years, maybe 2.5 or 3, I can't remember now. Then I lived in Mexico City, of course, and then when I was posted also in Beirut, in Lebanon,
Wow.
spent three years there, and then in Morocco, where I met Camila.
Where we met.
So you fell in love in
I
Morocco.
live in Morocco.
It's
Enrique-
one of the favorite places of mine on the planet. I love Morocco.
Okay.
Yeah, so Enrique was the Mexican consul, I was the Colombian consul, and we met there. And once mainly my post came to an end, this was 2019. I came back to Colombia, and Enrique stayed in Rabat, and so we were both thinking, okay, like, what are we going to do to make this work? It's long distance is very difficult. And so finally Enrique said, well, listen, I bought a land in Celestino Gasca. I've had it for 5 years. There's nothing in it. But how about we both resign to the Foreign Service and we decide to, have some bungalows, think about, I don't know, having a boutique hotel.
How lucky for us.
And I was like, that's the best proposal I've had. Yes. And so we both resigned, and a year and a half ago we moved here. Enrique came back to Sinaloa after, I don't know, 13 years.
Yeah, something like that. There you go.
And he came back
After
and
30 years? 13 years.
13.
Okay.
And so we started building. We only had the palapa at first. Then we started with our bungalow, which is the one in the back. Then last year we wanted to open our hotel with just one bungalow where you guys are staying. But of course, COVID, the pandemic, and so everything closed, Sinaloa closed, and we wanted to open by Easter. That did not happen because of COVID.
And our savings were already invested, so we didn't know what the future of tourism might be.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen, if it was like international tourism was dead.
We quit
Local
our
tourism.
jobs already.
Little bad timing.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, exactly. Our parents were like, why? But thank God things changed, and we finally got to open in July
July.
last year, with only one bungalow. Now we have 2 bungalows operating.
And almost 3, it looks like.
Almost 3, hopefully soon. And we've been it's been very successful so far, because since it's a very isolated place, and we have very few rooms, we only have 3 rooms in total. Our maximum occupancy is 12 people, so we do guarantee like a safe distance between guests. It's never going to be crowded. You can find here a safe space. If you don't want to go to a restaurant, restaurants do come here. They deliver delicious Sinaloan food. And so overall, I think our business model has been good with COVID. Thank God.
That's great. Now tell us a little bit what part of what I love here. I mean, it's beautiful. It's so tranquil. Coming from Mazatlan, it's beautiful also, but it's no longer tranquil.
Yeah.
So this is a really nice respite. But tell us, how did you decide to build the ecological place? Because that's near and dear to my heart. I think we really, Sinaloa is so beautiful, and we need to protect that ecology we have.
We absolutely agree.
Yes.
Well, I think it was since we both, well, when I was at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Bogota, I was in charge of the environmental issues. And so part of the things I did have to negotiate were the MDGs at the time and now the SDGs. And so all of this, the message on sustainable development has been already like stuck in the back of my head.
Wonderful.
And so we've tried, like every step of the way, we've thought of how can we, since the beginning, how are we going to make this eco-friendly, the least impact on the environment. Celestino is a protected beach. It's a sanctuary because marine turtles do come, well, sea turtles come and they have
Lay their
little
eggs.
nest, they lay their eggs. And so we do want to make our contribution in order to create awareness. And also our project is called Toninas, which means it's the local dolphin. Because we wanted to, from the beginning, generate some awareness on sustainable development, sustainable tourism, responsible tourism, empower local communities. Well, you can talk about the biodiversity studies.
Yeah, for sure. Well, for me, before we go into the biodigesters, for me it was very simple. I'm a very outdoorsy guy. I like going to the beach. I like going to the mountain hiking. So for me it was a must. If you're gonna stay in a natural place, try to adapt to it. So try to let the birds have a place to eat, to drink. If there's some hares that want to come and eat a bit of your tomatoes, they can eat their tomatoes, no worries. and we have been planting a lot. So for me it was a thing that came naturally since I like the outdoors. So I wasn't thinking about putting a lot of concrete everywhere.
Thank
So
God.
that's about my motivation. And about what we do is we try to compost everything. We have one compost box per bungalow. We have biodigesters, which is a sustainable way of reusing our water to feed the plants in the bungalows. We have a little mini wetland system, and then we grow carrizo, which is a local plant that we also use to construct little tiny bits of things like that. That bar is made out of carrizo.
Ah, yeah.
Which we made.
Yeah.
So it's
Which
like
we
a
made.
bamboo.
It's a small
Yes,
bamboo.
it's
Small bamboo.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a bamboo, but it's not the same family. But it looks like bamboo.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's more like a grass, a huge
Oh.
fat grass.
Okay.
Yeah. And well, yeah, we also have a seawater pool, so we don't.
It's a
use,
great pool. It's like 3 pools in one.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, we have-
chlorine.
They have a little jacuzzi,
Wow.
the pool, and then the wading pool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And what we do is we extract just water from the ocean just in front of us. It is filtered in our filter over there,
Uh-huh.
and then it's very clean water that actually reaches the pool. And every so often we're just putting more and more water in.
recirculating,
Recirculating.
like keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
So the clean water goes back to the ocean too,
Yeah.
which
So
helps
at the
the
end
ocean.
of the day, when it goes back to the ocean, it's actually really clean water.
Mhm.
Yes. So it's the same as going into the beach here.
Yeah,
Like going into the water, only without the waves and the rocks
yeah.
and all the
And the jellyfish.
Well,
the
it's-
Yeah,
currents,
jellyfish.
the
Yeah.
jellyfish.
Nah, it's yeah, we saw a few jellyfish. Well, it's the season right now, that's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
So you have 2 bungalows. One is for 4 people.
Yeah.
So they'd sleep in one room with 2 queen beds,
Yeah.
Two double
twin-
bed.
2 double beds. Okay. And then the other one sleeps more.
It's a 2-bedroom, the same distribution. It's 2 double beds
Okay.
per room, so it fits 8 people maximum. And we try to
And it's 2 bathrooms. That's
and
important.
has 2
very
bathrooms,
nice.
outdoor showers.
Oh,
Love the shower.
Which are
oh my
excellent,
I
God,
think.
that's a dream.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
really
highlight
nice.
of our hotel. I think.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, outdoor showers. We also, what we intended was when you shower, well, you're also watering the plants.
Yeah.
And what we've tried is to have endemic plants, so it's not like they don't consume as much water. You don't have to. I mean, they're supposed to just like grow naturally. That has been our main project right now. We want to plant as many trees, local trees, native trees that we can. We have tabachines.
We have a small, I don't know if you noticed.
we
have a
did
small
notice
greenhouse
your
over there.
nursery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like a nursery that we're trying to implement.
Yeah.
Palm trees, of course, because we want to in the future be able to give our guests our own coconuts.
Well, and the decorations in the room, I love it. It's made with
Ah,
the
this-
local things.
Exactly, yes.
And this is made by one of our friends and woodworkers from town. And this is a guy that I'm
We
sure
met-
that
Sorry, we were once having lunch here in the Palapa, and a guy came from the beach and he was selling a lamp. And we started talking, and he said to us like, "Oh, well, you know, I'm a carpenter." And we were like, "Oh, awesome, show us your work." And he started showing us, I think, a kitchen or some furniture that he had made. And we started talking to him, and we found out that he's actually an artist. And the lamps in your room, for
They're
instance,
awesome.
they're
are
made
from-
by him.
yeah, or
Yeah.
and by branches that he found by the beach.
He's
And
self-taught.
It's
self-taught,
amazing.
Yeah.
YouTube, and seriously, he's done a remarkable job. So he did all of our decks, all of them. In the future, we want in that area to have a shade. That's why it looks like it's under construction.
Well, yeah.
It's because we want to have a little shade as well.
Uh-huh.
And he helped us design our bar.
Yes. He's a very
Very talented.
guy, and we're trying to support him. And now we told him like, why don't you make a couple of lamps, and we're gonna take professional photos on it, and then you can sell them at a better price. Don't undersell your work, value your work.
Yeah.
So now we have this little project with Luis. Hopefully he'll be in it to try to make to value his work.
Yeah, we want to
Yeah.
empower him
Yeah.
in order for him to be able to.
To create, to keep
create
creating.
more.
Yes.
It's a wonderful model.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we loved about your website is you had reference to your master builder as well as the artisan who helps you. You
Yeah.
know,
The
giving credit.
photographer,
Yeah, the
I mean,
photographer, the
everything.
wedding
It's great.
photographer.
Yeah, it's great, you know?
It was great.
Yeah. And Luis's brother Manuel, he's the one who has been in charge of the construction here, and they're also from Celestino.
Okay.
So we like the idea of helping the family of in whichever way we can. And for our guests, we tell them to go to the restaurants, to the local restaurants. Even though our bungalows do have kitchens, I think it's a fantastic experience to just come, eat locally, support local families. I guess the
And-
same as in Mazatlan.
Sorry, and that thing you did is great. Like getting the oysters
As
right
they-
from the guys that got them fresh out of the water. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like no intermediaries, and it's
Right.
as fresh as it gets.
Yeah.
You're not getting any fresher than that.
Yeah,
That's super
it's
good.
It's the best one. And we also try it between August and November, December, which I guess it's the same in Mazatlan, where when the sea turtles are nesting, there's a local couple which we also try to promote and support them in any way we can. They, at first, from their own initiative, now thank God they have support from the government, they're the ones taking care of the turtles.
Great.
But at the beginning, it was from their own initiative, and they were the ones
They
walking
would
around.
take them to their houses and nest
Take
them
them to their
there,
house.
and
Wow.
They self-taught how to nest them. They would take them, and
And then once they hatch,
God
Yeah.
bless
they
them.
take them
Yes.
to the sea, and they try to promote environmental conscience here in town, which it's a fisherman's town, and
Yeah.
so they've done a remarkable job.
yes, and
That's
they've been getting support like slowly but steadily.
Yeah.
The ejido, the local authorities gave them a place right in front of the beach so that they could build, and then the government helped them with some stuff to get going the project, and now there's some NGOs that occasionally support them, and whenever they do, they come to all the hotels, not just us. They do
They
like,
free the baby
they free the
turtles.
baby turtles, and they give a little conscious talk about it, and it's super good, and people donate them right on.
And when they're going to do that here, I imagine it's on your Facebook page or something,
Yeah.
so people know.
So
to-
they
Yeah.
told us that I think the turtle mating season is
This is Esti.
our little baby.
Public relations official.
So I think the mating season is about to start, and then 45 days later, the turtles come to the beach and start all of the nesting process, and then I think it's another 45 days later that the little baby turtles start to hatch.
Yeah.
And
Then they have to
so-
liberate them as soon as they hatch.
Yeah, they hatch,
Yeah.
and on that
And then
day, on
that
the
same
next
day, they have to go.
Well, and I'm so glad that's happening here because we have lived in Mazatlan full time 13 years. We've come for 40, but in 13 years we have seen such a difference in how many turtles come to nest. It's so sad. But it's the light pollution, it's the people, and
Yeah.
God bless our aquarium and the people who rescue the turtles there as well. There's a lot of consciousness for that, but my gut is the turtles just don't want to come anymore because of the noise and the lights.
Yes.
Yes, and well,
And
the
what?
fishing.
And the fishing, yeah. So many caught in the nets or the propellers. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
does
that's
happen.
kind of sad. It's sad because this is going, but it's also hopeful that all this green movement is catching up. Like people are starting to take conscience, and hopefully we're moving to different ways of production.
That's my hope. In
Yeah.
fact, that one of my hopes is you'll start coming to Mazatlan and teaching some of the people there how to be a little more eco-friendly. You know,
Yeah.
we're down to our last estuary, our last laguna in Mazatlan. That's virgin. I don't know if it's La Escopama up in
Okay.
Delfin. And right now I have heard that the governor is looking to make that into a marina, a residential like an El Cid. So it will no more. I mean,
Bye-bye birds.
yeah, bye-bye
Eagles.
birds. There's no more. Mazatlan was all estuary and laguna, for thousands of years.
Yeah.
The hand net fishing is the heritage of,
That's such a shame.
yeah.
Something that I've been amazed and pleasantly surprised. I think it's from November to April, during the winter, the beach, the ocean here is super tranquil, and so we have our stand-up paddle, and it's like a couple's stand-up paddle, and we started to go out paddling just around, and it's one of the most beautiful experiences I've had in my life. We were stand-up paddling, and we started seeing the Toninas, the dolphins, swimming next to us, which was beautiful. And they were sort of, they're super fast, as we were saying, and they would go like they were all over. And we were trying to chase them, but they were, of course, too fast for us. And all of a sudden, like a black shadow came from underneath our stand-up paddle, and we didn't know what it was. At first we thought it was an enormous whale, and after a few seconds we saw it was a whale shark.
Oh,
And that was the first sighting ever of a whale shark here in Celestina.
wow.
And it was one of the most amazing experiences
Yeah.
we've had, and we do encourage people to have
There's recorded side.
it's a recorded, yeah. Well, recorded, yeah. And we really do want our guests to experience that connection with nature. And we have to protect our nature in order to be able to have that. And I think that's, unfortunately, in Mazatlan or just in big cities, it's very difficult for you to grasp that essence, no? Or that connection with animals and with just with the environment. Here in Celestino, we still have that. And it's so close to Mazatlan.
Yes, you're 1 hour north and then not so far from Culiacan either.
An hour and a half from
Hour and a
Culiacan,
half.
an hour
It's
from
a great
Mazatlan.
escape.
So it's a
Yeah.
beautiful escape, I think. And we still, yes, we have escape. But you still have we still have the facility or like just the possibility of having such experiences.
Okay. Well, thank you both so much. I think our readers, our followers are going to be really excited. Already, I've had about 20 couples say, I want to
wonderful.
come. This looks great. There's no razors there.
That's true. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.